Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Following a sold-out run at Roundabout Theater Company, producer Jeffrey Richards has brought Joshua Harmon's critically acclaimed new play, Significant Other, directed by Trip Cullman, to Broadway. And we're here on opening night to celebrate with the company. Welcome home to Broadway. How does it feel?
Overwhelming in a good way.
What's this whole journey been like for you?
Overwhelming in a good way. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's an incredible cast, and it's an incredible script, an incredible creative team. And I feel like the luckiest guy.
What an incredible role. It is the perfect melding of material and actor. It was like Joshua wrote this for you in mind.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to say to that other than thank you.
But what's it like living in this world? Playing this role?
It's thrilling. It's absolutely thrilling. I mean, the character gets to go through all these grand extremes, and it's such a well-written play that you kind of just I liken it to surfing. You just kind of get on the wave and you ride it, and the cast is so unbelievably good. You just kind of trust each other, and that's how it goes.
Then you have a director like Trip Cullman. What was it like being in the rehearsal room with him the first time and then revisiting this, not knowing you were ever coming to Broadway?
I mean, it's funny, sometimes you do something off Broadway and you think sometimes it's slated to go to Broadway, and this was just an incredible surprise. And so I think we all have been pinching ourselves throughout this whole process.
What has this whole journey been like for you with working on this play?
I mean, I knew a couple of people going into the beginning. I knew Trip, I knew Gideon before we started 2 years ago. And then I got to meet everyone else, which is great. And then you do this play, you have a great time with somebody, and you think, okay, well, that was nice. We did it, but then it sits for 18 months, and you get to do it again. And that's a rare blessing, that you get to come back to something, especially a play about the kind of time in life, and you get to experience a little more life in between and get to stay friends with the other people. It's like that, all of those relationships in your actual life with these people that you're performing with have just gotten a little bit more engaged, a little bit deeper. And so then to use that on stage and feel as comfortable as you do, and to get to redo a part, is nice. When you always have, when you close a show, that moment of like, oh, if only I had done that one thing differently. And
now you're doing it on Broadway.
Now we're doing it on Broadway. My second Broadway show. My first one was my first gig ever in New York 10 years ago. I like to appear on Broadway once every 10 years. That's so look for me in 2027. I'll be back.
Working with this cast.
Stupid. I mean, that's stupid. It's like, I'm so lucky. It's my debut. I don't know if I'll ever have this kind of moment. I know that this is kind of like a moment in a bottle. You know what I mean? That's not a saying, but you know what I mean. This is like a special.
Some of them are really special. I know this play is Broadway debut.
Broadway debut.
What was today like for you?
I mean, today I cried a lot.
Did you sleep last night?
Full disclosure, I had my period, so I cannot stop crying, truly. Gideon has learned so much about periods being on the same floor as me and Lindsay, and I really cried from the moment I started. And there's a moment in the play where I do cry, and it was true waterworks. Gideon was actually telling me on stage that there was makeup all over my face, and I feel lucky to be. I mean, this is everyone's like, it's the dream, but it really is the dream, especially for somebody who does comedy. I don't know if they make them better. I don't know if Josh has written, it's kind of.
Debuts are really special. They only happen once. And when you get a really good one, like you said, a Ruby, they don't get better than this.
Yeah, and now it's over. And now I'm old news. I'm an old face. I was a fresh face, and now I'm an old face.
Everybody can relate to this play.
Absolutely agree with you. I think it is it's a story that is relatable for all generations. But I will say that I think something that's been really exciting for young people has been oh, I've never seen this particular crazy ism of our time of obsessively checking text messages and Facebook and all that stuff, and all that insanity we put ourselves through in the modern day world of dating. So that's really exciting. I think he's really done a proper job of it.
Working with the cast.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, I knew a lot of these people before I came in, but I didn't know how much I was going to fall in love with them. Showing up for work every day to hang out with these people is like, it's a real gift, and I do not say that lightly. I mean, it's a joy every single day.
Was it always a goal of yours, like maybe like a dream of saying, I would love to come to Broadway with one of my plays?
Never. No, I mean, my dream was to be a playwright, and truthfully, that happens mostly off-Broadway. There are very few new American plays that go to Broadway in a season, so you'd be sort of crazy to have that as any kind of a goal. So I just wanted to have my productions done in New York, and that was the dream. So this is like beyond.
Okay, so on the red carpet tonight, I spoke to Christopher Durang, who I did not know, he and Marsha Norman were your teachers.
Not only were they my teachers, but this play was the first play that I brought into school when I was a student there, and we read it, and it was a lot longer then, and so they were, I feel such. It's very emotional thinking about them and this play and my journey through Juilliard and school, and that this play is now here is just completely crazy.
First of all, welcome to Broadway. It's your debut. How do you feel?
I can't, I don't know how to put it into words. It's really exhilarating, and might be sweating nervously, but it's just wonderful. I'm enjoying every moment of it that I can, just taking it in.
You are so good at what you do, my friend. But I mean, is it all surreal, like walking down the street, seeing the marquee and your pictures at the Booth Theater?
It is. It's completely surreal. And what's strange, I've obviously been thinking about this moment for a long time, and it's not to say that it isn't magnanimous and huge, but I feel like it's just kind of day by day I'm just doing it. And that's kind of a nice surprise to be able to do it and feel confident doing. That's a really lovely feeling.
What was today like for you? There's nothing like a debut. Did you sleep last night? What was your day like today?
Oh, my day was hectic. I slept okay, but I woke up, I was like, there's so much I have to do, and I haven't done enough of it, any of it. And then it's like, oh, it's 5:30, I gotta go to the theater, I still have to do some things. So actually once we got to doing the play, I was like, thank God I know how to do this. But so lessons learned. I think it did fine, but it was a lot in a great way, but a lot.
Welcome back to Broadway. I said to Gideon, welcome home. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels so amazing to be telling this story on Broadway, and for me to not be singing, that's like extra.
We first fell in love with you in musicals. You are such an incredible actress. What is it like living in this world of this wonderful woman you play?
I mean, for me, I love telling stories, and I'm an actor first, and I think I started in musicals, but this is always where my heart has lived, and to get to tell this story in particular with such an incredible cast and Josh Harmon's unbelievable writing. I mean, it's just so it just taps into like exactly what I think so many people have felt, and it really hasn't been examined before in this way. So it's a huge honor for me.
Everybody dates at some point in their life. And I'm sure if you're a group of 4 or 5 people, some of them settle down and you're like, oh my God, my life's going to change. There's nobody for me or something. I mean, this is so right on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've definitely gone through it in my life, and I've seen so many friends go through it, and frankly are still going through it. And I think when I read this script, I sobbed my head off, because I just was like, wow, I've so been there, and I think we've all gone through loneliness in our collective lives, and we can really feel that moment when a friendship changes, or when you feel like you've lost someone, really. So
it's like Joshua wrote these roles for you.
I know, but it's not true. I mean, when I read the script, because Trip Coleman read it and was working on it, and he sent it to me, and he said, you're the right person for this part. And I read it, and I don't say that about a lot of roles, but like I was like, you are right. I just knew this woman so well, and I knew this friendship so well between Gideon's character and mine. I have these friendships. I understand it so well. I know how deep the love runs and how complicated that can get. And I feel so honored to get to tell that story every night, because I just feel it so deeply.
You share the stage with everybody, but the scenes you have with Gideon Glick, what is it like sharing the stage with him?
I mean, I love Gideon so wholeheartedly. He is an incredible actor to work with on stage, and he also, I think we've gotten to know each other so well over both runs that we are now we can really like kind of volley back and forth in this exciting way where things change every night and we feel so comfortable and safe. And that I think the love and the trust we have in our friendship off stage resonates on stage, and I mean, because I feel it, it's palpable, and I just it's a huge honor for me to get to work with him.
It's so powerful and organic when you work with somebody you know that you trust so much. You just are up there on stage.
Yeah, and I haven't really done, besides Everyday Rapture, I haven't really done like a transfer like this where you already know your cast, and so like now we've lived in these scenes for 5 or 6 months. I mean, granted, it was a couple of years ago, but still, like, it's really given us the opportunity to explore new layers and new depths, and I think that's really, I think it's really showing on stage.
It's like polishing a diamond. You are already there. It's like shining it up.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder if we'll feel like, we've done this, but it doesn't feel that way at all. It feels brand new, except that like I'm doing it with my family now. I mean, it's incredible.
So when you took your bow tonight back on Broadway at the Booth Theater, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was just thinking how incredibly grateful I am, because this community is just really, they have embraced me so much, and I'm a weird person, and that the fact that I have a home here is, it's really wonderful for me. Sorry.